So guys, it's been a few weeks. The reason why we haven't been uploading as many videos lately is because Thais has been getting her blood infusions every single week for sickle cell. You know, you kind of got to space those out. She gets them like once a year or so, but it leaves her so tired, and she's our editor, and I really don't feel like editing. But then also it got so hot that I just didn't really get much done. So we were like, you know what? Let's not do a whole lot. So, you know, because like 2 or 3 days out of the week, I like to be at home more to kind of be with her, because she gets really knocked off her feet with that stuff. But it's good for her, because after like a few months or so, then she's going to start feeling really good, as if she doesn't have sickle cell anemia in some ways. But another thing is that every time I come here to the workshop, I kind of can't remember what exactly I was meant to do. But what that means is that I do what's obvious. So I've been doing a lot of organizing, because I'll come here and I'm like, what was I doing again? It's too hot. And then I won't remember what I was actually planning to be doing at this time. But I'll be like, well, there's a mess here. Might as well clean it up. So I like to show you guys some of the stuff I've been doing. So if you saw the live stream, then you saw that I cut some of this wood. Now I'm drying it. This wood started smelling a little bit odd, a little bit unfortunate, but oh well. I'll clean this lens. I decided to put it outside because it smelled kind of like green olives. And I dug this out of the creek a while ago. It's a really amazing cart from the 1940s with wheels and an axle from the 1890s, actually. These are old plow wheels. But I made a big thing and then put a hydraulic jack on this to push this wheel off, but man, it is stuck. My issue was that I had the hooks going around the spokes and they started bending. And so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to make a thing that is much more robust and actually goes around this part. But then I saw that like this is cracked, so that makes me a little bit sad. But I still want to make this usable. That's a video that's going to take a long time to do. See, that's a little bit of the other good side to this. Yeah, you can use that like a mirror. The other good side to this is the fact that oh wow, my hair looks like John Carmack's hair in the 90s. The other good thing is that because we've been taking a while to edit videos, we get plenty of time. We get plenty of time to actually get more content in them, because if you just wait a few more weeks, usually a restoration goes better. Like for instance, the video that's going to be coming out next is this. But now I'm kind of tempted, because it's almost tempting just to go ahead and throw away the ending of that video where I talk about what I'm going to do, because I'm now about to do it and the video is not edited, so I might as well do it for one big thing. I don't really know. Depends on whatever Thais wants to do. But I'm actually going to be putting wheels on that. Another project that I decided to work on, since I couldn't remember for sure what to work on, was this mail cart. I'm slowly turning it into a woodworking and metalworking workbench. So I built this quickly in 1 hour, kind of good. This is one reason why it's best not to film sometimes, because then you can just work on stuff. And this is already proving a lot of like a really good boon to my work, because I still have to do the top part, but I think that this maple piece of like countertop, well, it's actually from that cabinet that I found on the side of the road a few weeks ago, or actually like a month ago, in near Conshohocken, near the Schuylkill River. And then we also have this wood drying, which is from that live stream a week ago. I'm going to be doing some masonry work, and I have a bunch of reclaimed bricks to go through, but unfortunately I think they actually used cement for the mortar instead of actual mortar. And so every time I try to chisel the mortar off, it keeps breaking it. But if I can just bake it in a fire, that cement gets a lot softer and it's easier to break it off without breaking the bricks. But out here, everything's asphalt, and it's not like Illinois. So I have plenty of fuel. I have a whole bunch of fuel, but I need to build myself a a burning thing. Oh, and one thing is that I actually got a nice little haul of lumber and a couple copper pipes. I'm kind of hoping that maybe I can make picture frames as one of my products. And I'm thinking I might be able to cut copper pipes, roll them flat, and then punch out brackets with those, which will be like almost like a bracket slash staple made from copper pipes that will be used for the corners of the picture frames. But I was actually running low on 2x4s and such, and so I'm really glad I was able to get some more of that. I also got this from the mail cart. This is what I replaced on the bottom. Don't really know what to do with that yet, but I'll figure something out. I'm hoping that maybe by next spring or so, I can use some sticks like this to make some carpenter bee traps. And I'm hoping to make quite a few of them. I'm hoping to put them on the buildings out here. These first sticks are for here, the first logs. But later on, I might want to try selling some carpenter bee traps along with picture frames and push sticks. And I got this in that haul of lumber and such from a building someone was restoring. It's funny. They told me that, like, I just asked, I happened to walk by at the perfect time, and I asked, like, hey, what are you doing with that lumber? Can I take it? And they're like, sure, take it. It'll save us from getting a dumpster. And I think I had a few flat pieces, but most of the stuff I already had. But this was underneath the pile of lumber, and it's mostly okay. It's just that it needs to be tightened up, and then this whole section needs to be just done away with, because that's pretty bad. So I'm hoping that maybe I can actually practice doing a little bit of like overlapping crisscross there, and that could be some pretty cool woodworking. Oh, and then when we went to the steam show, I got this. Look at this vise. Isn't that amazing? It's been so useful. I love it. And I still have more videos to finish. I had to finally take the radio arm saw apart because it was too heavy, and I needed to open up the top. And, you know, it's from 1957, if I remember right. And because I found the date somewhere on it, 59, 57, something like that. And, you know, that motor deserves new lubricants. It really deserves that, because you can't just keep running motors into the ground. And I was going to hang this up on the wall like that, but then I ran out of screws, and unfortunately, it looks like I might have to use this, because I'm going to have to actually do some shoveling in a bit. I hope that will hold up, though. Oh, and then I also happened to find some aluminum trays. So those will be useful for painting and whatnot. So I'm just kind of, it's always a bit of a pain to work on things. Well, here, let's see. Yeah, it is zoomed in. It's always a bit of a pain to work on things when I don't have my tooling quite there yet. And so taking time to work on the tooling is always a pretty good idea. It's funny, I keep having to go over to the restaurant to help the Fusion, because they keep having things falling apart that the contractors did. Like a door to the kitchen just fell off the hinges. So I'm actually going to work on making a brand new door for them, and I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't want to be too loud, because I think people are working. There's an art show that might be going on. I can't really tell for sure. I'm hoping to get this cleaned off. I mean, my friend Rick will have to get his glass off of it, but then I can actually have my Macintosh here, which is pretty cool. Right, so this will slowly get worked through, but I keep doing so much work, and then I keep getting pulled away for paying work, and I need to also work on what I want this space to be. I'm thinking picture frames would be a really good way to use up the harder wood that I have, because I have a lot of stuff. Like, this is all maple, Vermont maple. That's what it says on the bottom. I didn't know Vermont made maples, but I guess they do. And Right, so I'm actually going to see about, in here, I have a whole bunch of sheets of metal. And I'm thinking I'm going to actually take those and weld them into like a cylinder and make a fire pit. So I can actually heat up those bricks. I can use a lot of this wood because this is just offcuts that I've been saving. And yeah, you know, I'm really proud of this little corner here. I just did it freehand on the table saw. I would like to be able to do that with a dedicated tool, but I guess that's what a jigsaw is for, really. Hard to say. Well, I should probably end it there. I just wanted to make a video real quick, just covering a lot of the stuff that's been going on, where it's one of those things where, you know, I moved across the country and I'm building a new workshop, and I'm somehow becoming the town blacksmith. And it's funny, like, all my plans are getting derailed because I keep getting jobs to do. But today, Thais got another infusion, so she's all tired. And it's like, you know, I feel like going home and making her some dinner. And that's the other thing, too. Why would I be pushing myself to work to death when it's hot out? It's not too hot now, but when it's hot out, my friend's all tired, going through recuperating from her lifelong illness, and you know, things are kind of okay. Even if I don't feel like I'm really invested in my life, there's a lot to be invested in. And if I just take it slow, that's when things will grow naturally. Like me not focusing on uploading videos, even though I've been filming them here and there, that's what led to me making a few big changes in the workshop that actually, now that I think about it, if I'd rushed it, they wouldn't have come about naturally. So it's kind of like taking time to live a bit of a simpler life, which is a little bit hard in the city, but this is the city to me, okay? It might not be the city to some people, but this is a city to me. There's fire trucks and police officers and towns and buildings and people everywhere. It feels like the city for me. I grew up in a town of 180 people, but yeah, I feel like I'm kind of walking the right path and not pushing myself too fast, and also working on just doing things naturally and doing things that feel right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.